Hey, did you ever think that those postcard perfect English towns are actually as dreamy as they look? Is it just a pretty facade? Or could it be your next home? Well, I'm about to spill the tea on England's prettiest towns and tell you what it's really like to live there, the true vibe, exact locations, what you'll pay for rent and homes, average incomes, the lifestyle, community chatter, and all the pros and cons, especially the ridiculously expensive bits. You're not going to want to miss this. Trust me. All right, kicking off with number 10, we've got Dartmouth, down in sunny South Devon. This place is a proper historic naval town, right at the mouth of the River Dart estuary, looking out onto the English Channel. Proper picturesque it is. It's got that quintessential English coastal holiday escape vibe, you know? Think narrow streets. There's a good sense of community here, and plenty of local restaurants, cafes, bars, and shops, along with nice parks and trails. It's also a big yachting hub, so expect to see some fancy boats bobbing about. It's right there in the stunning South Devon natural landscape. You've got Dartmouth Castle and the Britannia Royal Naval College nearby, plus some cracking beaches, like Blackpool Sands. Now, let's talk brass tacks. Dartmouth's civil parish has about 4,969 households. The average house price over the last year was a hefty £393,000, up to over £950,000. If you're after a detached place, that's averaging at £665,000. Terraced is around £352,000, and flats are about £253,000. Rent-wise, a one-bed flat can be £750 a month, but a five-bed house could set you back £2,750. Average salary in the South Hams district is £37,300. The house price to earnings ratio is a solid 10, which means housing here is pretty unaffordable compared to the average. But it's brilliant for families. If you're into water sports, the River Dart is your oyster, sailing, kayaking, paddleboarding, you name it. It's a relaxed coastal vibe, and retirees might fancy the peaceful cul-de-sacs. Locals rave about how beautiful, and I mean stunning, Dartmouth is, especially with Blackpool Sands nearby. But here's the rub. It's a holiday hotspot, so you'll be sharing it with a transient community. So, parking for appointments in summer? Forget about it. And finding things to do in winter can be a bit of a mission. It's nice, but seriously dead in the winter. I used to live in Dartmouth. Access is tricky from the Dartmouth area if you get down that far. Takes an age to get up to the A38 or the Exeter area. And when the kids grow up, they just want out, because it's a long way from anywhere exciting, and public transport isn't great. Also, don't expect your usual chain stores or Uber. It's a bit more old school here, so if you're a fan of peace and quiet, maybe avoid August. Next up, at number 9, we're heading to Bath in Somerset. It's named as the UK city, best for a night out in 2022. This city is an absolute stunner, nestled in the Avon Valley, surrounded by gorgeous limestone hills right on the edge of the Cotswolds. Bath's got that UNESCO World Heritage status, so you know it's posh. It's famous for its Roman baths and those incredible honeystone Georgian crescents. It's literally built on natural hot springs, which is pretty cool, isn't it? It's a beautiful place. People are generally friendlier and happier in my experience than in London, and it's top for cycling and running. The schools are good. It's a good walkable, bikeable city as long as you have average fitness. You'll find it about 97 miles west of London and 11 miles southeast of Bristol. It's a vibrant spot for food and drink, with Michelin-starred restaurants and cozy cafes. Plus, over 20 public parks, so plenty of green space to stretch your legs. It's expensive to live high rents, and there's not that much to do outside of the university events and activities. Property prices are pretty steep, usually from £350,000 to over £1 million, but the average house price was £394,000 in May 2025. Detached homes are about £680,000, terraced £370,000, and flats and £42,000. It's one of the more expensive university cities to live in after the obvious London. You can expect to pay from £900 for a one-bed up to over £2,000 for something bigger. The average private rent hit £1,747 a month in June 2025. The average household income for Bath and Northeast Somerset is £47,000. So, while it's beautiful, it's not exactly a budget destination, I asked locals, and they are calling it the best little city on earth with a slightly more chilled vibe. And amazing countryside all around. But here's the big one: tourists. Is it actually always packed with tourists? Yes, pretty much all year round. So, if you move here, get ready to share your beautiful city with the world. The nightlife might not be Ibiza, but it's got a more intimate community vibe. It's perfect for professionals, families, and retirees who fancy a safe environment and a top-notch quality of life. It's a relaxed pace, but with all the modern amenities and cracking transport links to Bristol and London. Youngsters might find the nightlife a bit chilled compared to bigger cities. Sliding into number 8, we've got Port Isaac in Cornwall. This tiny, picturesque fishing village is tucked away on Cornwall's rugged north coast, about 8 miles from Wadebridge. If you're a fan of Doc Martin, you'll recognize this place instantly. It's where they film it. It's also home to the Fisherman's Friends, those brilliant sea shanty singers. Think whitewashed cottages tumbling down to a historic harbor, all connected by winding, cobbled streets. Port Isaac is nestled in a natural, sheltered inlet on the North Cornwall coast. But with that comes the fact that it's so out of the way. It's a small place, with a population of just 721. 10 years ago, it was crazy cheap. But now property values are pretty substantial, with an average of £394,386 over the last year. Prices can swing wildly, from £275,000 to a whopping £2.9 million, to detached homes for £490,000 and flats for £333,200. Specific rental data for Port Isaac is a bit elusive, but in Cornwall generally, a one-bed can be around £1,314. Salaries are lower than the national average, with an average of £34,600. The average disposable household income is around £17,000, which is only 87.2% of the UK average. The median house price is roughly 9 times the average wage. Basically, you'll need a Doc Martin salary to live here, not a fisherman's. This place is a dream for film buffs, especially seafood lovers, and anyone who fancies a relaxed coastal life. I asked locals and they say it's beautiful countryside and how quiet and affordable it is, especially in the off-season. But there are some big downsides. There's a lack of job variety, and the economy is described as economically depressed, with a very seasonal workforce. Housing is ridiculously expensive due to second homes and a general housing crisis. And get this: no doctors, no urgent care, and emergency is understaffed. Plus, summers are hectic, with chaos on the roads, lots of thefts in towns, packed beaches. So it's beautiful, but maybe bring your own doctor and a good book for winter. But still, it provides a remarkable blend of authentic Cornish life. Coming in at number 7, we've got Bibury in Gloucestershire. It's often called the most beautiful village in England by none other than William Morris himself. It's nestled on the River Colne, right in the Cotswolds area of outstanding natural beauty. It's about 6.5 miles northeast of Cirencester. This village is like stepping into a postcard, seriously. Think iconic Arlington Row, those traditional Cotswold stone cottages, and tranquil riverside paths. It's the kind of place where you expect a hobbit to pop out for tea. It's best for retirees looking for peace and a deep connection with nature. And it's for those who dream of a quintessential English lifestyle in a picture postcard village. But it's described as more grown up. So maybe not ideal if you've got a tribe of little ones. Its population is a tiny 581 residents only. Property values here are absolutely bonkers. The average house price over the last year was a staggering £915,000, with some places going for over £1 million. Specific rental data is a bit scarce, but residential park homes are apparently a more affordable option in the wider Cotswolds. The median earned income for full-time employees in the Cotswold district was £26,933, with a median salary of £31.8 thousand in 2024. The house price to earnings ratio is a whopping 10.8, one of the highest in Gloucestershire, meaning housing is severely unaffordable. So, unless you've got a spare £1,000,000 down the back of the sofa, you might be admiring this beauty from afar. The biggest grumble from locals? Crazy high housing costs and extremely low availability of good quality jobs. The tourist invasion is another massive headache. Tourists blocking your driveways, entering your property, poking selfie sticks through your windows and posing outside your front door as a whole different circle of hell. Ouch. Despite the frustrations, some locals have a love-hate relationship with the tourists, saying, "We complain about them constantly. That being said, we wouldn't have the village any other way." All right, at number 6, we're hitting up York in North Yorkshire. This historic walled city is right where the rivers Ouse and Foss meet. York sits in the Vale of York, a flat, fertile area bordered by the Pennines and North York moors. Got great connections around the UK via train and 30 minutes to Leeds. It's famous for its medieval walls, winding cobbled streets, and the massive York Minster dominating the skyline. It's super walkable. Plus, it's got a buzzing art scene, good schools, and the architecture is wonderful, and the historical character doesn't get old. Good selection of restaurants and pubs, quite a lot of food, and cafe options for a place this size. The center is usually busy, with tourists and residents, but never overrun. Its population is around 200,000. House prices are definitely higher than the national average. The overall average is £343,384, while flats were around £221,859. And average monthly rent is £1,080, and York was one of the fastest rising rent cities in the UK. Yes, it's expensive as hell, but I'd put money on it being one of the safest places in the UK. The average income is £45,900, but it varies a lot. Rural areas to the west can be £57,300, while places like Westfield are £34,000. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but generally you'll need a decent income to live comfortably here. Got plenty of green spaces, making it good for families with young kids. For singles, the dating pool is smaller than in London. I talked to some locals, everyone said, "It's good, but not perfect." Some of the stuff they told me that you may not have considered is very high house prices, low wages, tourists year-round, bad traffic, nightmares on race days, stag and hen do's, crazy busy city center at certain times making it a virtual no-go zone for locals, and limited nightlife. But there's no getting away from the fact that, despite the drawbacks, it's a good quality of life. People will say tourists are a con, but in my opinion it's a plus. It gives it an international buzz that equivalent-sized places don't have in the center. Coming in at number 5, we've got Stamford in Lincolnshire. It's in the southwest of Lincolnshire, right on the River Welland, near the borders of Rutland and Northamptonshire, and it's known as one of England's most distinguished stone towns. It's packed with over 600 listed buildings and jaw-dropping Georgian architecture. Once, 12 years ago, it was even named the best place to live in all of England in 2013. It's a bustling market town with independent shops, fancy cafes, and restaurants, all with a strong community spirit. The average house price over the last year was £373,095. Semi-detached homes went for £310,787, terraced for £316,818, and detached for £553,839, and rental prices range from £425 to £7,000 a month, with an average of £1,173. In South Kesteven, the average salary in 2024 was £36.8 thousand. The house price to earnings ratio is 7.3, which is slightly below the England and Wales average, but still means housing can be a stretch. Families love the secondary schools and green spaces like Burghley Park. Plus, Burghley House and Rutland Water are nearby for a bit of outdoor fun. Locals generally give Stamford a big thumbs up, acknowledging the higher cost of living, but praising the quality of life and low crime. They say the people are warm, friendly, kind, and the vibe is so much more chill. However, a big heads up, you absolutely need a car here. 2 cars are a must in most places, and public transport is pretty scarce. One local even said it's fast becoming the country's most Instagrammable slum, but some even said it's such a calm and peaceful place. But the problem is that it often also means boring. So a visit is a must before moving. All right, next one is Ambleside in Cumbria, right in the heart of the stunning Lake District National Park. At the northern tip of Lake Windermere, England's biggest natural lake, it's got traditional lakeland stone buildings, independent shops, cozy cafes, and pubs. The iconic Bridge House, a tiny 2-room house over Stockgill Beck, it's a must-see. Plus, it's got literary ties, inspiring poets like William Wordsworth. This town is a hub for anyone exploring the Lake District's natural beauty. It's a paradise for nature lovers, and perfect for hiking, boat trips on Windermere, exploring the fells, you name it. It's also lively because of students of the University of Cumbria campus and has a diverse food scene. For families, it's a great escape from city life. House prices have an overall average of £534,397 over the last year. Average monthly rent was £760 in June 2025. The average gross salary for the Northwest region is £41,105. So, while the regional prices might look okay, living right in Ambleside can be a bit pricier due to all those tourists. I talked to the locals, and they love the food, the stunning countryside, and the landscapes are consistently praised. However, newcomers might find it tough to make friends with some, saying, it can be quite lonely. School places are insanely competitive. A big one, no NHS dentists. Plus, be ready for the weather. It tends to snow in January-February time. Down to number 3, we're off to Rye in East Sussex. Rye is regularly listed on the UK's top places to live in polls. Indeed, the iconic Mermaid Street is lined with well-preserved Tudor and Georgian buildings. This ancient town is perched on a gentle hill overlooking the English Channel, right where 3 rivers meet, the Rother, Tillingham, and Breda. Rye is about 2 miles from the English Channel. Rye is famous for its timeless charm, with cobbled streets and perfectly preserved medieval architecture, especially Mermaid Street. This place looks like nice, wholesome, traditional, old, film-set England, cobblestone streets, creaky old pubs, and quaint tea shops you're looking for. It's also great for those seeking a peaceful retreat, with nature reserves and sandy beaches like Camber Sands nearby. The average property price is around £471,871. For rentals, houses in Rye range from £650 to £9,000 a month, averaging £1,626. Flats average £1,075 a month. In Rother, the district covering Rye, the average salary in 2024 was £35.7 thousand, and the house price to earnings ratio is 10.1, much higher than the England and Wales average, so housing here is a real challenge. Basically, you'll need to be a successful smuggler to afford a place here. Everyone here highly recommends Rye, praising East Sussex as a great place, but a common complaint is that pubs usually close by 11 p.m. Also, lack diverse activities or a traditional downtown area, so if you're a night owl, you might be heading to bed early. And now, for our runner-up, at number 2, it's Lavenham in Suffolk. This village is easily the best preserved medieval town in England. It's about 76 miles from London. It sits on a ridge on the western bank of the River Brett. Lavenham boasts loads of timber-framed buildings, many from the 15th century, making it one of England's best preserved medieval villages. Its wonky houses that defy gravity literally transports you back to its wealthy wool town past. You'll find charming artisan shops, quaint cafes, and the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul has the highest village church tower in Britain. Pretty impressive for a village. It's named in the top 20 places to live if you work from home. I would say it seems to offer more than rolling countryside and medieval history. Had a population of 1,722 in 2011. A big chunk of its population, 39%, is over 65, so it's a hit with retirees. The median house price is £420,000. Terraced houses and flats are particularly pricey here, and rental values for apartments average £715 a month. But houses in the wider CO10 postcode can range from £383 to £14,300 a month, with an average of £1,252. The average salary in Suffolk was £34,600 in 2023. So, it's a bit of a medieval money pit, but oh so pretty. As I told you, it's a magnet for retirees seeking a peaceful, scenic countryside with a strong community. It's got good healthcare and low crime rates, which is always a bonus for retirement. Locals often call Lavenham perhaps the most beautiful medieval-style village in England, even saying it's what Americans think England ought to look like. This highlights its idyllic, preserved character. However, the Suffolk scenery can be a bit flat, with the Fens area described as truly boring. And the public transport? Dog shit, apparently, meaning you'll definitely need a car. Some rural locals are even humorously called an English version of Deliverance. So, if you're moving here, bring your own car and maybe a friendly smile to break the ice. And finally, at number 1, the creme de la creme, the absolute prettiest of them all, Castle Combe in Wiltshire. This place is the quintessential Cotswold village. It's often called the prettiest village in England and a chocolate box village. What makes it so special? No new buildings in its historic core since about 1600. It's literally frozen in time, which is why it's a favorite for films like War Horse and Downton Abbey. You'll find honey-colored stone cottages, winding streets, 2 traditional pubs, a quaint tea room, and even honesty boxes where locals sell homemade goods. How charming is that? It's about 5 miles northwest of Chippenham and 10 miles northeast of Bath. It's nestled right in the Cotswolds area of outstanding natural beauty, with rolling hills and the Bybrook River. This is a tiny community with only 356 residents. The limited housing due to strict preservation policies means property values are sky high. The average house price over the last year was around £610,000, but they can range from £300,000 to £1.4 million. Terraced properties average £548,333. Rental costs are also steep, averaging about £2,293 a month, with a 3-bedroom semi-detached, ranging from £1,200 to £1,950. The median salary in Wiltshire is £35,200. The house price to salary ratio is 8.5, higher than the England and Wales average, so it's pretty unaffordable. Basically, you'll need to be a lord or lady or win the lottery to live here. It's perfect for retirees with a lot of money. If you're into film, gourmet dining, there's a Michelin-starred restaurant. Romance or golf, you'll love it. It's for those who like a fast-paced, modern city life. Locals will tell you the Cotswolds are ridiculously expensive. One person mentioned buying a 2-bed cottage for £320,000 3 years ago, which just shows how much it costs to get in. A practical issue is the lack of large supermarkets, so you'll be driving to bigger towns for your weekly shop. And the tourists? While they bring in money, they block driveways, and even tourists trying to photograph their living rooms or walk into their houses uninvited. So, it's beautiful, but maybe invest in some good curtains and a no parking sign. And you and I can only imagine how beautiful and cozy it must be to live in one of these houses. I always dream of living in a place like this. So, there you have it. My deep dive into England's prettiest towns. What I've found is pretty consistent. That picture-perfect charm often comes with a few strings attached for us normal folk. In a nutshell, while these towns offer an idyllic lifestyle steeped in history and natural beauty, you really need to do your homework. That prettiness comes with a hefty price tag and its own unique set of challenges. Knowing all this up front is key to making sure your dream move doesn't turn into a nightmare. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you in the next one.